What's going on, yo? So this is devaluing yourself. So check this out. So devaluing yourself actually leads to chemical imbalances in your brain. And you don't want to be unbalanced because anytime you are unbalanced, you're gonna see that you're gonna put yourself in a situation via external means or internal means, whether you push yourself out in there or you get enticed by something that's external going on outside of you, based on you needing to hop on an extreme polar shift because of your chemical imbalance. So you see bipolar people take extreme measures, extreme actions that are not necessary to defy something that's minor, minute, or you know what I'm saying, it could be dealt with much ease because they find themselves at dis ease. Yeah, it's because they led themselves to a chemical imbalance. So this comes from a lot of time from not being able to have self worth based on what the world externally represents as having as worthy. So simple things like having cars, having large houses, you know what I'm saying? Things that the world puts in front of you, like similar to a carrot dangling. Um, those things lead you outside of yourselves, and when you don't have those things, you start to devalue the self for not having those image, those representations. So similar to how the Bible tells you, do not have false idols, which means not to have an image in your mind that is against the self, that the self doesn't actually need, that this thing outside of me is not a medium of expression for the self to actually ride through and use, like, because we humans are social beings, expressive beings, beings that share ideas, beings that relate, beings that build structures of all types of forms, beings that build organizations, you know what I'm saying, throughout time, like pirates, crusaders, religions, governments, all that. These are things we did as human beings because of our ability to relate to each other, but we did these things when we valued ourselves, when we valued the expression of the self. To write a song, you need to value the expression of yourself. To write an essay, you need to value the opinion of yourself. To go work out, you need to, that's something you have to value. You see what I'm saying? But you know, as in working out is kind of like doing something external, so it ends up laying you down. But as long as you don't understand, you understand what you're doing, you're not getting lost to the external world. Let's say you want to be jacked, muscle bound. That's good, but don't get lost in that being your ultimate reality. Meaning, when you get old and those things start to wear and tear, and you know what I'm saying, depending on your circumstance or situation genetically, those things might wear and tear, and based on that, that might put a blemish on your soul, a blemish on your self-image, so therefore you devalue yourself. As long as you're not in that space, then you can balance yourself with the things of the world and not have it lead you to a chemical imbalance due to devaluing yourself as a byproduct of not being able to match that external image however it's presented outside of you. And yeah, so to avoid devaluing the self, always value the self. Always tell yourself that the things outside of you are always we're always an external expression of something internal. Someone had to have an idea and put it into the world. So you have those ideas too, and you can put those things into the world. So the things inside of you, therefore, are much more valuable than the things outside of you. So keep that in mind, and that way you don't get led into chemical imbalances and then have to take a pill that someone else made for you based on knowing that you were gonna get into that trap. So you see how they take your traumas and your fears and they create a system to process that through. You don't want to be a part of that. You want to build your own system, your own process to deal with your thoughts and feelings. But yeah, don't get lost in the world. Always love the self, and don't ever devalue the self.